Roll me down, I get it. Hate that I keep winning. Stab my back and took it. To all those who willing. The ones think I'm privileged. No, I ain't win into this. Lost friends, God bless. Cut clothes on too much stress. You young and reckless. Spent money on new car. I spent my money on lawyer.
Fuck your feelings. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fuck Your Feelings. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share. People don't share.
Sharing is caring.
Hey, man, we got a phenomenal episode, man. I'm excited, man. We got Nixon. We got DoBoy. Yeah. We got Matt Jones. Appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Thank you for having us. This is a nice little setup here, brother.
What can I say, man?
Look at you, man.
This is a nice setup.
Doing well for yourself.
Yeah, this is bigger than my studio that I actually live in, dude. This is something that you just have with camera. This is bigger than my place. So
you know what? I would live here if I needed to live here. Like if things went bad, you know.
Of course.
You always got to have that if just in case, you know.
Dude, I don't have AC in my apartment too. So just the fact that you have like AC in here.
Where you live?
Is crazy. Dude, I live by Runyon Canyon and it's really cheap, but I have carpet, which is number one, like a red flag, you know, and the number two.
Bro, it was 110 2 days ago.
I know.
And no AC?
No AC, just a bunch of fans like a telemarketing office, you know, like all blowing on me.
Just pull the mic close to you. You can sit back so if you want to. Okay. Damn, that's wild. I don't have central air. What is it? Central wall unit, baby.
But it's cool in here, though.
But it's cool in here. Because I got two fans and I got the AC unit.
And you got the blackout blinds like I like.
I do.
I like it dark. I thought I was the only person like that. I love it when it's just.
Oh, I love it.
Well, it's only because it's a studio space. At my crib, it's not as dark.
You like natural light?
I kind of do.
You
like
natural light? I hate natural light in my house. Like, turn that shit off.
I feel lame as hell now. Like, yes, I like sunlight. I do.
Yeah, that's so 2019.
I know, man. How y'all fellas doing, man? What's going on, man? DoBoy, what you been up to? I ain't seen DoBoy in years.
Life is good, man. You know, I just sold a show with All Def. It's basically called Raising the Bar. I don't know if you've seen it.
Not yet, but I tell you what, I'm gonna check it out.
It is a hip hop improvised show where I get two rappers in the studio.
Like it already.
They get 30 minutes and they got to write a 16-bar verse. But it's a live stream show, so the studio audience is sending in words, and they got to pick the words out of there and put them in their rap. And then after 30 minutes, they get 3 chances to go in the booth, lay down their verse, and then the audience picture. So yeah, that's the thing I've been working on.
That's high pressure,
lately.
Man.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty excited about it.
Norm, what's up? What's Norm? Norm a TV star.
Oh,
Norm a TV star now.
Look, this nigga was like, I'm doing a podcast. I was like, shit, I'm about to see this nigga in 3 weeks. I gotta go. We finna go do a show in Orlando. I was like, I'm gonna see this nigga. I can't wiggle out of his podcast. Gotta show up.
Good, you LA nigga.
Fuck you, nigga.
Flaking ass niggas.
Nigga, we ain't grow up together.
I like Norm.
No, we solid.
We solid. Norm will fight a nigga, but I'm the same way though.
It's all great.
The energy's mutual.
I've been cool, bro. You know how it is. We just all out here grinding, COVID fizzling-esque. So you know.
Hey, so this is why I started fucking with Norm, because you know I kept it 100 with Norm. Norm kind of keep to himself. And that which I used to see him in the belly room and all that, but he ain't really talk to nobody. But I seen him in Tampa with Afion, and we was able to finally connect and vibe out, you know what I'm saying? I told him, I was like, you kind of recluse to yourself, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that we've been able to, you know, chop it up and shit like that, man. Because Norm funny as hell. Norm was out there killing it.
Nice. We're just doing our thing, man. Yeah, I don't, you know, it's always weird when you hit those green rooms with them shows and it's a lot of folks, and if everybody ain't your, you know, everybody's trying to be extra friendly and stuff. It's like, man, I'm just trying to lock in and do my time and take it to the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you.
For real.
But no, yeah, we good folks.
Yeah, man. Matt, what you been up to, man? You still dropping the sketches? I think
you're
dropping sketches every day at one point.
Yeah. I'm still doing sketches. I'm not doing them as much anymore because I feel like around like 2021, my views were getting really good and then they just kind of fizzled down. And I don't know if it's because sketches just aren't hitting as hard or if it's just the stuff I'm dropping isn't hitting. But I'm still doing that, and I just started a podcast.
Gotta get them titties in the algorithm, man.
I do, man. I do.
You
can't have too many dudes in your sketches. You know what I mean?
You can't just make a good sketch. Just make a mediocre one. Rotate the titties.
That's what I'm realizing I need to do. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's
Yeah.
a fact though, because people was wondering. I started doing these reaction videos like last year, and they was doing well. I ain't been doing them as much, but as long as it's titties and ass in there,
Oh yeah.
you gonna
Yeah.
get some clicks.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
Off
And
the
it,
rip.
but the thing that's like counterproductive about that is like you get the instant gratification, but in the long run, your brand becomes unsellable. You know,
I agree.
so it's like you get, you know, your homeboys be like, you seen that? You said head in the video, but then after that, it's like nobody want to buy that hoochie shit.
But at the same time, though, I feel like it goes back to what you guys were saying. Everything's becoming independent now. So it's
Right.
like you kind of are just selling to the masses now. It's directly you and the people, basically. I feel like kind of like 2020 just poured gasoline on everything
Yeah.
to where everything kind of became independent. You know, but it is true. You kind of have to combine it with OnlyFans. You know, you kind of have to have like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
get
funny.
on OnlyFans just as a talent scout. Be like, you got a lot of talent. Like smoking a cigar. Be like, you got a knack for comedy.
We know cats
You
will
know?
do it.
I don't know. I'll be trying to get
Right.
back into the catches and stuff. I mean, to the sketches and stuff. But I'll be feeling like people's attention span is so small these days. Like you
Dude.
have to catch them.
Yeah,
So I mean, you got shit like TikTok now. You got Instagram. It's like
Yeah.
you got to like do it so quickly. And I'm more of a what I'm saying. I know that we all we're all writers. So I like to like flush it out. Like I'm more on
Totally.
the like TV show side of things, at least in my mind. I'll be like, man, with this sketch shit, I can't even get
Dude.
it off like I really want to.
Like a minute and a half sketch now is like The Godfather. People are like, ooh, that was long. Like people are gonna be watching like 30-second sketches in a theater, be like, yeah, it's just too long, you know.
But
People
I'm
are sweating.
I'm like that with movies now, bro. When I'm watching
Yeah.
a movie on Netflix and Amazon, nigga, I'm gonna give you 20 to 30 minutes. If you don't
Mhm.
catch my attention to 20 to 30 minutes, I'm out,
outta
bro.
there.
I'm tapping
Gone.
out.
Yeah.
When did we
mostly-
become
Yeah.
like this as a society, though? We don't even give shit a chance.
When we lost faith in the people in charge of distributing content,
Yeah.
when music got watered down and movies got watered down and TV got watered
What
down.
you mean by that? Lost faith in the people that distribute?
I mean,
content?
back in the day, like you'd believe a little bit more in the box office, like on the weekend, like if
Right.
something was gonna be good. Like now we've seen so much sorry ass shit,
Yeah.
and we know that they're gonna
Yeah.
keep making sorry shit. And at this point, we know that a lot of the people in charge just have no clue what they're doing, so they just green lighting weird shit or the same shit. You know, they won't put any money behind anything new or anything innovative. They
Bunch
just
of reboots.
yeah,
Yeah.
stop rebooting
I
shit.
hate that shit.
Man,
I
trust
fucking
me.
hate a reboot.
Me
Bro.
too.
He said, "Trust me." I took the checks all the way through that shit. I hated it.
I hate this. I hate this.
Hey, I hate this shit.
Let me tell you how many reboots
My
I've done.
address is.
I'm not bullshitting. I did a Harold and Kumar animated series.
Oh,
Really?
Uh-huh.
Didn't get. However, that was the funniest table read I've ever been to.
Wait, a Harold and Kumar animated series? That just sounds hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was. And the network, they wanted to water it down. That's what I was about to get to.
Mhm.
Not trusting people. The network wanted to water it down. The producers is like, have you seen Harold and Kumar? It's a rated R movie. Like this animated show is supposed to be TVMA.
Right.
But they wanted to water it down. This is what I heard. Now, I don't know if this is facts. Keep this in case this is a clip.
Right.
This is what I heard.
Right.
So I heard that was the issue. And so the producers is like, nah, I'm cool on this. All right. Harold and Kumar animated series.
Mhm.
I did 21 Jump
You
Street,
did MacGyver.
Mhm.
MacGyver, and Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
guess what?
and didn't you write another movie too? Was it? I thought
And
it
I
was.
just wrote Half Baked too. That's getting made.
But that's a sequel.
That's
Not
a
really a
sequel.
reboot. You
Yeah.
know?
But stop that shit too. Just
Yeah.
make a new movie.
True.
Make a new fucking TV show.
But you know what it is
Yeah.
though.
How hard
It's-
is
You
it,
know what
bro?
I found out? The more I start to get in this shit, it really is predicated off of fear. And what I mean by
Yeah.
fear is all these executives are afraid to fail. And so
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
why they go with other established things. They're like, oh, this already works. They don't want to take any chances on any new shit. And
But-
that's what happens.
But also,
Yeah.
all of these executives, not all, but a majority, a lot of them,
Mhm.
they are not the tastemakers that they
Right.
have been given the credit for being.
Facts.
So you taking the
Yeah.
credit for decades and
Facts.
decades of
Yeah.
other shit when you don't even know why that the show that you're attached to even worked to
Right.
begin with.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now you're Mr. Honcho. So what do? You never had the taste, so you look at the stats.
And people are losing
Yeah.
faith not
Yeah.
just in the system because like celebrity used to be like this thing to where there was like the curtain, like the whole Prince effect and
Oh,
rock star effect.
It's over.
It's done because everything's like reality now. That's why I think sketches aren't hitting as hard because people kind of want to know more just who you are.
And see,
You know
but,
what I
that,
mean?
but that could be
And they just want
problematic.
to know you.
That
and
could
so-
be problematic too, though, because I feel like there should be that buffer between entertainers and
Yeah.
people. And sometimes, like, and I found myself just sharing a little bit too much. And I'd be like, damn, like I don't even have no fucking privacy.
I was gonna ask you about. See, Tony Baker had told me that he was like, you need to share more of yourself, which I don't think he was wrong. I mean, I feel like I probably was just promote, but at the same time, I'm like, what is sharing too much? Like, I feel like, don't we gotta have some sort of privacy?
No, keep that fucking privacy and don't share anything.
Just
put whatever you want on the stage, but outside of that, keep that anonymity or at least that mysteriousness.
That's exactly what I was about to get to. It's like, bro, like, how about you do something that's worth some shit? Keep some mystique about yourself, then just keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing that you get accolades for. Like back in the day, again, like, you know, come from an older generation of motherfuckers that was doing shit like you had to be like one of the best people at what you did to become famous.
Facts.
So people were just worried about being the best at what they did, whether it was a singer, a dancer, an artist, whatever, architect, don't matter. Now people are just worried about the fame aspect and the clout and the this, that, and the other, instead of just like, you know, honing the talent.
Right. But everybody's got a camera now too.
And
so
everybody
it's like
wants to be
where
everything.
the celebrity used to be, the cameras were fixated on one thing. Now it's like flipped. So everybody kind of wants to be in front of the camera now. Like your aunt and your uncle are like making videos.
That's
now,
so true. My
so
mama hit me up one day. She was like, my mom was like, I'm gonna get on TikTok. I'm like, you gonna get on TikTok?
because as far as she's concerned or whatever, like there's so many people who you're like, well, if that person made it through whatever, because a lot of people figure it out just by being consistent.
That's
like,
a fact.
Most of these sketches are trash. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone comes through and it's actually something funny is happening, it's real refreshing, everybody fucks with it, everybody's reposting it, it goes super viral, because most of that shit is lukewarm at best.
That's a fact.
It's meh. It's a lot of meh.
Yeah,
I love writing sketch. Like I like the old school like SNL, like, you know, beginning, middle, end, where there's like a twist at the end. You know, like that's what I always loved. But it's sometimes hard to get people to pay attention
that's too
to
long. You on some YouTube shit.
Yeah, you gotta get
them. That's YouTube.
That ain't set them up.
But not even YouTube, really. You know,
well, YouTube, they won't even pay you if your videos aren't a certain length. I know you reach different brackets. So like YouTube is like the medium short form. I feel like platform.
You can monetize your YouTube shorts now, though.
Yeah, YouTube pays the most out of any
no.
streaming.
Facebook.
No, Facebook.
Really? I heard.
Facebook is paying.
No. Well,
they pay more than YouTube.
But it take more to get associated with Facebook or whatever, right? To qualify.
But don't people get demonetized all the time?
That's what I'm about to say, because YouTube, you're just monetized off rip. Like,
just
yeah.
Wait, okay, yeah. You
that's
have
what
to
I'm
do
saying.
more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Facebook is some special shit, like how they got Red Table Talk and all that shit. YouTube Red or whatever. What that shit was on? What the Red Table Talk was on, bro? Facebook Elite, nigga.
Damn,
nighttime
Facebook,
Facebook,
episode of that in a minute.
Facebook After Dark, nigga.
But it's crazy too, because like my nephew, he basically is just all he watches is YouTube. So he has no concept of TV. Like kids now,
it's crazy.
It's literally just
I'm
YouTube.
the same way. I mean, I watch
you know?
YouTube and then I'll watch Netflix if something is hitting. But like I have YouTube on my TV, YouTube on my phone.
Straight up. When I go to my little cousin's house or little homie's house, bro, they watch YouTube, and that's why like all these podcasts and random YouTube series, you'd be like, who the fuck is watching these? And you'd be like, these fucking kids
coming from.
Yeah, where are these millions of views? Who are you niggas? Like, but they're there.
Hey man, it is all about consistency, bro. I was just telling my home. That's why I tell comedians that's not booking stuff to just get online and be consistent, because at least you're building a fan base. Because if you're just waiting for somebody to choose you, you may be waiting for a while. But I mean, you don't really post content though, do you? I don't know. I just started, keeping up with you. So
I mean, like, because to me, there's what's your goal? Who you trying to be? And to me, I feel like a lot of the people who do have success with sketches, they take the wrong avenue, right? Like, so if you've been creating sketches from scratch, you've been producing successfully, you've been writing successfully, maybe that's what you should do. But everybody will get some sketch shit going, and then they try to be Will fucking Smith or whoever, and it don't work out, and they be confused. It's like, bro, that's a hard lane, but you have shown the acumen to create and do this. So like for myself, I always knew, like, I did stand up first before any sketches or anything, and I was just like, nobody gets like picked up in stand-up rooms, but some people will. I started doing stand-up just to get a manager, get an agent, just as like a means to an end. It's like I grew up with Damon Wayans Jr., so I seen his kind of route. I was like, okay, he did the stand-up thing, because if you can successfully do that, like, people will fuck with you. They'll be like, oh, you could write, you could do this. So if you go tear a room down, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah, him.
Right.
Dude, everything I've gotten in the industry has been through stand-up. Like, has been through meeting people by just doing stand-up. Because I started with stand-up before I was an actor, too. Did you start as an actor first, or did you start as a stand-up?
Actor, because I went to a
Yeah.
performing arts high school, and
Uh-huh.
I started doing theater, Shakespeare when I was in middle school and stuff like that. So people was wondering why I was booking shit so early. I was like, I'm trained.
I'm trying my hardest.
I'm trained.
Stella Adler.
I just did Shakespeare, you fucks. That's why I'm booking shit early.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started, but I was always the funny one in school. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I was always winning the like the funniest superlatives in high school and elementary and all that type of shit. And then when I got to LA is when I really started pursuing stand up. But I was doing YouTube, 2009? I was posting shit.
Yeah, so you were doing it early, like when it was like, I mean,
That's
YouTube
when
came
it
out
was
in
in its
2005,
infancy.
right?
Yeah, 2006, I think.
2000, yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, I put out my first sketch like 2008, 2009. I used to go viral,
Uh-huh.
but I wasn't
Yeah.
booking no TV shows. Man, that gets me to this point where I was going to get to is I was just having this conversation with Batch, King Batch, and I asked him,
Shout out Batch.
I just asked him like, what's a good audio book to listen to, and he just sent me this book, and it's called The Power of Doing One Thing, which is something that I've been telling myself recently.
Man.
Because the issue is when you so talented, you feel like you should be doing and could be doing all these different things. But if you trying to obtain something quicker with more success, you need to just lock in on whatever that one thing is, go hard at that shit, and you're more likely to obtain that. And then from that, the other opportunities.
I suffer from that
Dude,
so
same.
much because
Same.
I started the weird shit with my path to this was I never really came in this trying to be a comedian. Like I was a rapper. Like I used to be a gospel rapper. Like I didn't start doing comedy till I was 26.
Wow.
So it was never like I was like, oh, I'm super. But then once I started doing it, I got decent. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay, I want to get on Wild 'N Out because I can rap and I do comedy.
We auditioned the same time.
Sure did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Fuck them niggas.
I didn't even have an audition. Shout out to CT. CT told me where I bombed that. I mean, I bombed it, and when I mean like I didn't even have an audition. Sweet talked my way in there because CT told me where it was at, and that's how I was able to.
Hey,
get it.
I'm gonna let you get back to your thing, cause I was nah, man. I
Yeah, it's about to get personal.
Yeah.
We got a monologue.
Hey, fuck your feelings.
Hey, and I told you, nigga, this shit's peaking. This shit's peaking. You can hear the distortion though.
Got it. So I auditioned the same time, and I did not bomb my audition. I actually had a pretty solid audition. I did. Ask James Davis.
Right.
When did you audition?
It was when they first brought it
Obviously,
back.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't that solid, Justin.
Ooh, fuck your feelings.
What do
I
you
love it. I love it, nigga. That's
So
what the show
what
about.
do you feel like your misstep? Did you have any missteps in the audition at all? Like, did you maybe like not kill it on the rap part, or
I think I did good on the rap
just
part.
was just? I think we might have been in there the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was at the
Oh,
same
yeah, I
day.
remember.
No, we was
I
there.
remember.
It was me, you, James
Yeah.
Davis. You know, the niggas that don't make it remember it really well.
Bro, but you know, I feel like even with that, like with the, and it's so different. Like you said, you've been acting since you was young, so it's so much more personal to you. I was playing sports and just minding my business and being a nigga. So if I don't get some shit, I don't be giving a fuck. Like I don't care at all. Like
That's kind of the
But
secret.
see, I think the
though,
people that
is to
don't give a
not
fuck
care,
get it.
because
like,
you get it.
That's
Yeah.
fact. I'm telling you, really, any audition that I ever really prepped for and went hard for, I never got.
nah.
Whenever I
Yeah.
just walked in there, like I didn't have nothing to lose when I auditioned for Wild 'N Out because I'm like, nigga, I ain't supposed to be here. So like, what's the fuck? All they gonna do is kick me out. Like,
what-
I don't give a fuck.
I
So, man,
auditioned for it too, and had like a really good audition until it was the rap part, because I was just
That's
totally,
usually where
I
people
mean, that's-
stumble up.
That's where I was complete trash,
I was not because I could rap.
horrible.
Matt,
Yeah, you can.
Matt. No, I cried that night. I cried. I didn't cry.
So much pain.
I didn't cry.
Hey, when you've been acting since you was young and you don't get shit, that shit really hit different.
But you know what's
Yeah.
so funny? I'm talking shit in the moment. I cared because it was Wild 'N
Right,
Out. I honestly, this is for me personally. I'm glad I didn't get it because I want to be known that I did shit on my own type shit.
Right.
That's just our own personal thing. So in the moment, of course, it was 2014. I wasn't on TV at the time. You know, so I had only did like some prank shows for MTV. So yeah, in the moment, I was like, damn, man. And I had a decent. Let me tell you how I know I had a decent audition. No. This facts. These are,
I know.
these are
You're Justin Hires.
No,
I know what you do.
The producers called me. No. The producers literally called me and said, "We want you. Some of us want you. There's someone that don't want you."
Yeah.
And that's kind of how. And it was like, if somebody don't sign on to the show, you will get their spot.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's what that happened like a day after we had those auditions or whatever.
Everybody but Nick.
I didn't say that.
Nick was in the back.
That's one nigga you gotta win over.
Nick Cannon.
Hey man, these are the words of Norm Nixon.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
I did not say
I
that.
just completely made that up, man. I think it's just for the record.
That's hilarious.
He's the most powerful.
But
nigga.
the power of doing one thing, though.
Right, because that's the
Dude.
thing. Because I suffer from that because, you know, like I'll be sitting there like, okay, like I just told you, I'm doing this music show. But then I'll be like, okay, I want to get back to the stand up, and I'll be like, okay, let me get back to doing sketches. I'm like, well, maybe I should start a podcast. Like, nigga, you're never gonna do anything.
You go from side to side instead of forward, you know,
it
because
fucks
you're
me
jumping
up.
from lily pad. to
And then
lily pad.
I sit there and get upset at myself, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. It's like, no, I'm doing a lot of nothing though, because I'm just spreading it out. What's the name of that book? I want to read that.
Yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna send it to you. It's like the power of
Yeah.
the power of doing one thing. Or
I
something.
suffer from.
I
that
need to
shit
do
bad.
that too, man. It was like, because I started as stand up, but I actually love acting more
Mm.
because what happened was I'd get called in for these auditions and I would bomb them because I was so nervous. So I started studying Meisner. I did like a 2-year Meisner program, and that like basically restructured my acting, you know, but like I feel like I'm focused on one thing in terms of like out there, but social media, I can't figure out like what to focus on right now. And I feel like that's why I've been spinning my wheels online.
I was
Because
telling
I'm doing
myself
too
that-
much.
I was
you
sounding
know?
like how you said your mama sounded the other day. I was like, I need to get on TikTok. Why do I need to get?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do on TikTok? I'm 43.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear your perspective.
I feel like it's difficult, man, because one,
You 43?
Yeah.
You look good, bro.
Praise God.
My bad, but I'm listening.
that was like that moment when Kevin Hart was like, damn.
Why he just do you like that,
dude?
dude?
You
Damn,
know,
you-
I
no,
thought
he
no,
wasn't even
niggas was just
talking
gonna let it
about
go. He's like, wait, you 43?
I missed
Yeah.
it. I missed it, nigga. If you said it, I didn't
Nigga
hear
ran it
nothing
back.
about it. That
Ran it
nigga's
back.
like, that nigga came
Mo
with
Trey, Mo
Trey.
My bad.
you don't know how old people are in LA.
For real.
We don't have seasons, so it's just
No,
whatever age you move here, you
but
stay the
know,
same
on a
age.
side note, I ain't forget. I'm gonna circle back, but that's because we were lied to in the 10 decades or whatever decades ago. They was lying about the age.
Oh yeah, cutting off
And
their
even still
mustache.
now,
in
you
pilot
know,
season.
look, my brother's an actor. He be playing in high school and shit. He just started playing an adult now. We grown as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my brother Devo. He's
Yeah.
getting it.
That's the one on Winning Time?
Yeah, he's on Winning Time. He's on Snowfall. He was Whitney Houston's son in The Bodyguard. So
Mm.
Oh, y'all
but you know-
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't
Wow.
know that.
he but yeah, like I forget how old he was, but he was on a show. What was the one? Secret Life of an American Teenager.
Wow.
My nigga was for sure like 30 something.
Dude,
Like,
IMDb puts people's age, and people were freaking out.
for
That's funny.
sure.
That chick sued or something at one point.
What IMDb?
Yeah,
did?
because her age was on IMDb. or
It's
something.
mine's still on there.
Yeah. I'm 29,
Which is-
everybody.
I used to always lie about
Everybody
my
needs
age.
to
I'm just
settle
erasing now.
But no, but I was gonna say, like, I feel like one, it's hard for people to be real with themselves. Are you fully multifaceted? That's the question number one.
Right.
So I think a lot of people give that advice because most people are not fully multifaceted. They don't actually have the ability to do 2 or 3 things at a
Like the
very
subpar
high
and
level.
everything.
At a high level.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the key word, at a high level.
Yeah, so like, can you do it? Now, I feel like monetization makes you focus. Now, if you are doing multiple things at a high level, I do think it's good to do them. Now, I think it's you got to lock in and you got to focus and finish. You know, like you say, if
Right.
you want to rap and write scripts, you got to make sure you're finishing scripts and albums.
Right.
You know, you can't just be in between. Oh, I'm still working on this song
Always
and
in
it
the
ain't done.
studio,
Yeah,
right.
I'm in the studio. I'm writing this,
Yeah.
still working on this script, man. I'm almost gonna have a pitch deck. Like almost have a pitch deck. You been working on a script for 5 years, nigga.
I know somebody like that too.
Yeah, we all know a bunch of niggas like that. So like, yeah, if it's gonna make you be like that, then yeah, focus up. But if you can schedule your, broker your time and figure it out, I think it's cool to do multiple things. There's a lot of successful people who did and do,
This my only thought on that too is like, let's say you putting out an album and you writing a script. It's gonna take you longer because you're dividing your time. Versus, let me put this down. Let me just only focus on writing the script.
But is that realistic?
Like, so I think it damn near has to be.
I do music too, right? So like sometimes when I'm making beats, like, yeah, it's cool to sit there and take a beat from the beginning and then finish that whole. But sometimes you just lay 4 tracks and then go to the next beat. But are you and clear your mind and then come back?
But are you more or less? It sounds like you're just doing that list on some. You like to do it. It's some creative way. Are you really planning?
No, I mean I make money off music, like not like as an artist, but like I license like Hooded Jason with James. Like I did the theme song for that. I licensed my music library for that. I've done music for musicals and stuff like that. So like the music industry part of the music thing, just because the politics are so weird and I'll do like that's gonna probably be like the last chapter for me.
Right.
Whatever. Like I put my own music out too, but like yeah, like it's something that I've done consistently. But like if you're writing a script, how many hours of the day? Unless you're just one of them psychopaths. Or if you one of them psychos who could just go lock yourself in a room for 2 or 3 days and just come out with it.
I'm one of them.
Show me the scripts, nigga. Where they at? You better have a stack.
Half Baked 2 coming out.
Oh my
Get
God!
a shot next month.
You just slandered Half Baked 2.
I didn't slander.
That nigga just slandered. Did he not just say, "Hey, I made this bullshit ass spin off"? How you gonna pick up that shit now?
Hey man, shout out to Half Baked 2. Shout out to Universal 1440, y'all.
So you wrote that?
I wrote it. Yes. Get shot next month.
I misunderstood. I thought when you brought that up, it was something that you said you wrote and then it didn't happen or something.
No, that shit's happening.
There you go.
That's Mr.
Yeah.
But let me
That's
tell you,
Mr. Greenlight over there.
Yeah, but let me tell you how it happened. I was filming MacGyver at the time. And
doing multiple things.
Slight flex.
Exactly. I know, but I had to write that script during my winter break. That's the only time I had to do it. So the 2 weeks I had off from filming MacGyver, I was locked in a room literally 13, 15-hour days for 2 weeks typing up the first draft.
But you got to know your temperament. So for me, myself, as a writer, I didn't turn in my homework on time, nigga.
Why you getting sexy? Why you getting sexy on the mic?
I don't know.
Nigga went smooth jazz.
You know, so my light skin is just about 3-4 ring lights in here, my nigga. I started feeling it. You got blue lights in the back. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just trying to feel it out.
Hey, Brandon Lewis said the same thing. Him and Tahir was like, nigga, you trying to fuck? Like,
nigga need this little
What are your
smoke
intentions,
machine in this bitch.
Fog machine.
I don't even know what the fuck we was talking about, man. The podcast ended.
One thing, but one thing. But you feel like you could divvy up your time as long as you skilled in that, and as long as you like.
Because for myself, I can make music for a lot of hours straight. Mm-hmm. So if I get put in a situation where I have to make some music in a short, compressed amount of time, I can do it because it's within my wheelhouse. I'm comfortable with it. You know, are you going to be able to complete the task? Like I said, that's the bottom line. Are you going to be able to complete it? Completion. Right. Take it to the finish line. Finish the album. Finish the script.
I think the point of it would probably be if you have the mental telepathy to do what you're saying, do that. If not, do one thing at a time.
Right.
I think I have to go to one thing at a time just because I literally have like 7 or 8 things right now. And I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, and it's hard when you get inspired a lot of times because like if you are just doing one thing, you almost have to have boundaries with yourself to where you're telling yourself to shut up and like no, because you like get inspired and then you're like, oh, this idea can only fit into this format, so I got to go do this right now, and then it's like, no, I have to like put that on hold. So it's hard when you're having like a lot of ideas.
I'm listening. I'm just doing this.
Tell yourself you're like, I don't agree with you at all.
Side note, related but unrelated. I heard this the other day, and I don't want to misquote it. You know that saying that they always say. Jack of all trades, but master of none. Yeah. You know that's an incomplete quote. It's really a quote that says.
I saw that meme.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's a real thing. It says Jack of all. It says Jack of all trades, but master of none. But something is better than one. So it's basically like the opposite of what it was saying.
A nigga might have made that up and posted that. Nigga might have Facebook too, my nigga. I gotta see the source.
That sounds like a guy that's stuck in the woods. He pops up on the tree.
Like Confucius.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm the same way. I cite your sources, like Norm said. Cite your sources.
Because I mean, MLA format. It's 2022. Niggas is wild.
But everything is so oversaturated. Kind of going back to your point, people are gonna associate you with something. You know, whenever they know you, I think. Like
people are going to associate you with whatever that one thing, like I said, something's going to monetize. If you're doing a bunch of, it's just like when you get out of school and you try to get a job, most people do some shit they didn't even want to do. They weren't fucking thinking about.
I found the quote, guys.
What is
says,
Okay, let's listen.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
But who?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. As soon as you Google it, it pulls up. It says the so-called jack of all trades was it.
Read that one more time.
It's a William Shakespeare quote, and the full
Oh,
phrase
it's
is
Shakespeare.
Oh, Shakespeare.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So that's the thing. We've all been this my whole life. I thought you should, you know what I'm saying, just try to master one thing. And this is saying,
Because they like, you stupid, boy. I'm scared. Just come on, do one thing. Just do the one thing. You know, your parents, your parents are just scared you just going to be a fuck up.
Absolutely.
Right? So they just trying to make sure you don't fuck up. They're
Yeah.
like, look, man, the last 10 kids I seen did that. They fucked up bad. So come here. Sit down. Let me straighten you out. Let me straighten you out.
But it's finding that thing that like makes you kind of be able to put all of the things that you do really well into one thing. I think like I just started doing one-man shows because it's like everybody's been telling me to do that for years because characters is what I do the best.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I'm the best at is characters. So I was like, how do I put acting and stand-up into one thing without being all over the place? And I just put up my one-man show and I shot it. And it was the best response to anything I've ever done.
Ooh, when you put it
like,
out?
Probably the next few months. It's being edited right now. So
Nice, man. Congrats on that.
How long was it? So you just
it was an hour.
So you just go on. So I've never even seen. I know it's gonna sound ignorant. So I've never seen a one-man show.
I hired a director though, because even though I had stand-up
is it like
elements,
a really just long dialogue about a bunch of stuff?
Well, monologue.
Because I've done stand-up for so long, you know, I come out and I do the stand-up, which is like where you're kind of engaging the audience. But then like I had like a director as my acting teacher, so it kind of goes into almost like a play on certain parts. When you're done breaking the fourth wall, you go into the characters that are having like long scenes.
Oh, wow.
And then you break out from the scene and then you address the audience. And it's kind of.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to myself.
Okay. Like
so I do address the audience, but then I talk to myself.
Is that hard? Is that hard?
I'm
assuming that has to be hard because you're dealing with silence at times.
Not for me, because that's what I do the best is like characters. So it was like, for me, that was like, that's like my leaning. But for a long time, I just avoided doing that because it's like if you try to do a one-man show in the belly room of the Comedy Store, it's not going to work,
right?
Well, because you're not. It's just not going to work.
Hassan, y'all know Hassan Minaj? Y'all know him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he did that essentially. That's what his Homecoming King is. It's essentially a one-man play versus stand-up. It's like storytelling. But he realized he wasn't getting the response he really wanted at comedy clubs with his regular stand-up. So he went to these storytelling rooms, which I didn't even know existed. Yeah, I still don't know what these motherfuckers at.
White Secrets.
Yeah. White Secrets. That's hilarious. That could be like your web series if you ever did White Secrets. That could be your reels and TikTok videos.
Have you ever seen this restaurant? Of course you haven't. It's a White Secret.
That's funny, bro. So anyways, he went to these storytelling rooms, and that's how he started developing his act for Homecoming King, which is a Netflix special now.
Right.
But I was gonna say that's actually my senior year piece was a one-man show. I did John Leguizamo's Freak.
Dude, favorite special of all time.
Me too.
I love that special.
Yeah, the way it's shot, it was directed by Spike Lee, I think.
Yeah,
too.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Y'all gotta see that. You never see it. That's the one to watch.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna watch that one first, and I'm gonna watch yours when you drop yours.
Sweet, thank you.
So I'm gonna tap into this one man show.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I loved it, and that's kind of the thing that I want to keep doing. But going back to the online thing, it's such a time-consuming thing if you're trying to make that an online thing. You know, like you can't just drop one-man show pieces like every single day.
Right.
You know, so it kind of goes back to like what game you're playing.
Dude, like you saying, so like as a stand-up, you're not gonna build your audience in the stand-up, bro. No matter how good you are, bro.
That's a fact.
No matter how good you are, you got to go do something else, and it's been that way for years. I mean, Kevin Hart from, he did Paper Soldiers, whether niggas didn't know about the Paper Soldiers and Soul Plane. You know, Joe Rogan came from Fear Factor. Motherfucking what's name was on MySpace doing the shit. Dane Cook. Everybody, you have to have a big TV show or do whatever, and then if you can deliver, then it's gonna work. But you can't. Ain't nobody just so funny.
But how do you do that in 2022? Because like you said, with those guys, that was before social media even existed.
It's the TikTok. That's what I'm saying.
People have those platforms. They're just not delivering the comedy.
So if there's a young cat at home right now, he's like, okay, 22 years old. He's like, I want to get into this comedy thing. I'm the funniest nigga in the streets. I'm killing these comedy clubs. But by your rationale, you're saying that ain't gonna do it. So what should that kid go do?
So one, if you want to be a good comic, you got to go chop the wood and do the stage time. So you still got to go do that. But you got to understand there's a limit to how far that gets you now. The same way everybody's lazy and they Zoom and all that shit. All these executives and all these cats, they're not in the rooms no more. You know what I'm saying? And even if they see you do something, we're in the stats world. So who the fuck is this person who I've never seen who's funny? And I don't know who you are and this, that, and the other. So like what I would recommend for people to do is, like he's saying, you do your own shit. You think you're funny? Find some guys making a low budget film and get in that shit. Find some people doing some short form thing that they're gonna release on YouTube 2 minutes at a time. You got to go do shit and hope something hits. Because if nothing hits, nobody cares how funny you are, bro.
And to piggyback on that, my personal thing is, if let's say all you want to do is stand up. Let's say you like, I just want to do stand up comedy. Great.
Look, you hear that voice?
Comedy.
You hear that voice? That's a ridiculous person. I just want to be the world's most best stand-up.
Exactly.
It sounds so dumb.
That's all I want to do.
That's all I want.
But I hear a lot of people say that.
But this is the
in
point.
LA,
This is the
which is
point I was
crazy.
gonna get to. To still do, you still have to. Then, even if you had open mics, a lot of young comics do this now. Even if you had open mics, you film your set, you chop it up,
put it up,
you put it on TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts. That's what you have to do. So you still have to do that extra step. And if you don't feel comfortable putting your material, then you put your crowd work. And if you don't feel like doing your crowd work, then you go do reaction videos. That's what I'll be doing. Do reaction video or commentary videos where you find a wild video online and you talk shit about it for a minute. You put that online. You do those things to build the fan base. So then when you are performing in Chicago or Charlotte or whatever, you now have people that you could tell, yo, come see me.
Facts.
But then, like I said, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when you own a show that's busting, like if
that's the cheat code.
If you're one of the young boys on Empire and you're a stand-up, your shit is gonna boom.
Sold out.
Period.
Sold out shows.
Sold out the whole weekend. You're not even gonna be able to do improvs and shit no more. You have to go to small theaters. Now look, if you're him and you're funny, because what happens a lot of time too is people have a honeymoon phase.
Oh yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh,
who you talking about?
Shit, 100 niggas? How many niggas you want me to name?
Name three.
I'm not starting no fucking.
No, name three. No.
I'm gonna go see about a nigga like, what's up, nigga? You mad? Like, you mad, nigga? Like, I said it. No, I don't have no beef with nobody, bro. But I'm honestly, I'm not even speaking about nobody or trying to slight nobody specifically. I'm just talking about, like you said, this is just a real conversation about
facts.
Things that have happened to us, our friends, our peers, niggas we fuck with, niggas we don't fuck with, or whatever. But
I think I've got to the point where I think my favorite thing to do at this point, because I mean, all you guys have been on sets, you know, being on sets all day. I just like the writing part now because I could just control that. I could just be at the house. I always like being around people all the time. Like,
know thyself,
you
nigga.
know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's where I feel like it's going for me.
But when you saying writing, are you saying writing and you're gonna shoot it yourself? Or are you saying writing it and hoping that a production company make it?
I'm saying I'm gonna write it, I'm gonna shoot it, and then hopefully sell it, and then just be writing episodes and then just sending them in, and then just being like, send it to me so I can know it. Just because I'm like I loved Wildin' Out. That was like one of the best experiences. But like I'd be lying if I was saying that it kind of gave me anxiety.
I love Wildin' Out too.
It kind of gave me anxiety. It kind of gave me anxiety sometimes because even though it is a very team-oriented thing, it's very competitive. There's a lot of really good niggas.
We can smell it. We can smell it through the screen.
I'm telling you, it's so so you just trying your hardest and like
we can smell niggas just like
like it just look like that, like
and it ain't no like it's different from when you telling a joke on stage, right? And it don't work. When you tell a joke out in front of that audience and
it doesn't work, you probably go home and second guess your whole career path. Like you're like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
A Wildin' Out episode, it's like after the editing with the tracks turned up and shit, a lot of the time don't even be like, oh my God. So we know live. That shit was like, that shit was real meek, nigga.
This is when I realized how competitive it was. I actually went there as a guest, right? But if you see the episode, I only said one thing. They cut me all out. I just wanted the niggas in the back.
Yeah. Hey, look, I've seen so many of the homies who that's happened to. Like, yeah, these niggas is. Watch out, nigga. Like, these niggas want to rap bad.
But this is when I realized.
It's like
these niggas got rap beat.
No, this is a fact. This is when I realized how competitive it was. I was there, and I was like just saying what's up. And Chico
Bean.
Funny dude, 85 South Show, right?
Yeah.
he was in the like locked in. Like I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "What's up?" But he was like walking around like going. He was going
Pre-game, nigga.
Pre-game. He was
He's
going
different.
over
He
Super
is
Bowl,
different.
nigga.
Yeah, bro.
That nigga's different.
Yeah.
He is so him. DC Young Fly them. What I've seen them do. Have you guys been able to see one of the episodes of the 85 South Show?
Of course, I am.
These niggas.
You talking about the concert?
Yeah,
or the,
like when they do the concert,
Yeah, yep.
it just be them three on stage, and they'll do 2 shows in a night, and they'll do 2 totally different shows. Like it's not just stand up, it's just 3 niggas controlling.
I feel like it's like this with like
a really big audience.
yeah,
Exactly.
right, and with like, but you know how those kind of things are. It's like you have some shit that you.
Well,
go
yeah,
back
I'm
and
pretty
call,
sure they
you know
have
how
some
to-
stuff,
yeah,
in their
yeah.
mind.
'Cause
Because
even
plus they
like-
have the musical component, but it's just
as they should, because that's
Right.
smart. Like even the first time I seen like what's my man name who's like known for being a roaster, white guy.
I know you're talking about. Goddamn.
Him and the other dude, when you see their show together,
talking about Kill Tony.
Yeah,
No.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Nah, he talking about Jeff Ross.
Jeff
There you
Oh,
go.
Jeff Ross. Yeah,
like I seen
I didn't mean
him,
to call.
I seen him in like
Tony Hinchcliffe.
the other guy he was
white
doing
guy.
a show with, and they was doing like a roast with, and you know, it's like I can tell, like, because I've been in the same situation. Like, all right,
Right.
we gonna clown each other after the show. You know,
Right.
of course, we gonna run it back a little bit from 7 to 9, but yeah, you know, shit happens, and yeah, like you said, the nature of their show is different every time because they always talk about new shit
Right.
and just whatever's going on.
I think shows like that, it's just dope to just see the evolution, or even like when you're saying like the one man. I mean, even though those aren't new, like I just think those are just different, variations of comedy and taking it to a different.
Yeah, and there's different things that you can, like show. Like in a one-man show, you can be funny, but then you can be really serious, and it's not awkward. Like once again, if you got that serious in stand-up, people would like really be uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, "What was it? Why is he acting like
Right.
that?"
Say it
I was
every
like, "He's
time.
finally snapping
Yeah.
from nights of open mics."
like,
You know what I
like
mean? It
when
just-
even
Yeah.
when Chappelle had the one that he did in the belly room, some people were like, it was kind of serious.
Yeah, totally. Well, a lot of his
These
stuff,
people.
he's kind of
These
earned
people.
that. His last special was serious in a lot of ways because
That
like
shit
it
was
was
funny.
very.
I liked
It
it.
was-
You talking about the
Chappelle's-
closer?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I
too.
loved it because
Jokes.
what I was saying was he could hold with Chappelle. A lot of people were like, well, he didn't really tell jokes, but he can hold like the audience for
Oh, yeah.
so long, and then he can do a punchline. That's what he does so well, I think, in that special.
And at this point, because we
was-
believe,
Right.
we're used to it.
totally,
At
we
this
have
point,
an
you're gonna
expectation.
somebody else. You're not going on that long ass
No,
journey.
no.
I wish I would get up there in front of audience who don't know me, get on a
No.
5-minute joke journey. They'd be
You
like,
have to have
nigga,
Yeah.
fuck off, boo, nigga, get your bitch ass off the stage.
Just lame ass out of here.
Yeah, stop
Fuck
preaching.
out of here.
Stop preaching.
But you heard the advice that he gave Will Smith, right? You know what Will Smith did on Facebook. Will Smith was doing a Facebook show.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's he live? Like,
but no,
like
what-
live on Facebook or live doing stand up?
No. So Will Smith was doing this show. It was like it was called Before I Slapped Chris Rock. That was
I was like, really believed you. I was like, really?
No. But he did do a show before he slapped Chris Rock. But it was for Facebook, and basically,
BS and AS.
I know, right? But basically, he was wanted to try different things that he never did before,
Mhm.
and stand-up comedy was one of them.
Yeah.
And so he had Chappelle on one of the episodes, and Chappelle said the best advice he ever got that he was given to Will Smith was, you don't always have to be funny as long as you're interesting.
Mm,
And so that's Chappelle thing.
I like that.
So it's like, even if he's not saying the funniest thing, which I do, I be laughing at his stuff. But however, my wife has watched an episode of, like, not an episode, one of his stand-up specials, and one of my homeboys did too. They didn't laugh. They was like, he's making good points, but I'm not actually laughing.
Well,
Mhm.
But I actually laughed though.
I mean, comedy is built out of truism, so that's what it's all about. Like, make an observation that's
Right.
gonna ring true to some people that they never thought about, and that usually comes off as interesting. And he always got some shit to say, which is why we're always interested in Dave's perspective. You know,
How did Will do when
Totally.
he got on stage? Did he do okay?
He did all right.
He did good?
It sucks though, because once it goes back to like people who are like social media celebrities, and once they start doing stand up later, and then their expectation is so high.
Mhm.
Once you already have a name, if you jump into stand up later, it's like if James Vanderbeek goes and does stand up, which
James
would
Vanderbeek.
But I mean,
Dawson's Creek.
that's who it was. It'd be like the Dawson tour or
but
something
I mean,
like that. Like,
again, for me, if he can do it, it don't fucking matter.
but
You know what I'm saying?
there's
Like,
still the
that's-
learning curve. You know what I mean?
There's
of
a learning
stand-up.
curve. It's at
Nobody's
least a
gonna
year.
just smash right out of the gate.
At least
you know?
2 years, really.
You gotta
And
take some
so-
L's. Well, no, because T.I.'s doing. I heard T.I.'s like really starting to wreck right now.
No, he good, bro.
like niggas saying like he
T.I.'s
didn't fi-
starting to be
they
funny.
said that he didn't figure it out.
T.I. starting to be funny.
No, this is what I'm about to say.
I saw him. It was-
No, but he got some good people around him. Shout out to Ronnie Jordan. He's one of the people
Yeah,
that's
shout out to Ronnie Jordan.
Yeah.
No, this is what I was gonna say. I saw T.I. the night he first came out here
Mhm.
to do stand up, bro. So he had already did it a little bit in Atlanta, but the first night it was me, Chris Spencer. I want to say Usher was there. I want to say Alice Thomas was there. Nigga, we was all up in there, right in the belly room. He closed out the belly room.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
How'd he do?
He did great for a nigga that's been doing stand up for
Not
2
even a year,
days.
yeah.
he did for not, and there was some comics in the back like he wasn't that funny. You
But see,
close out the belly
But
room.
one thing,
Yeah,
one thing I
especially
think he
later.
has working for him though is that he has over 20 years of controlling crowds.
Exactly.
He has
true.
stage
That's a
presence,
fact.
and he has aura about him, and he has a great voice. He has a great speaking voice, and he has a life rich, full of just a bunch of stories. That's really what they got him doing, just up there telling stories.
Yep.
now.
You can
know what I'm
learn
saying?
stand up quicker, I think, the older you are because you know yourself better. Like when
Yeah.
you start, like when you're 20, you know what I mean? It's like, which I started really young. You don't really know who you are yet
Right.
because
Oh,
like,
you
you
gotta
have that
jack off
insecurity.
jokes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and you have
feel
like pimples on your face.
I mean, in reality, it's like I feel like there's less top tier stand ups than there is like fucking NBA players damn near.
That's
you
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
Totally.
for everybody to just
Damn.
there's a lot of positivity about the shit that needs to be stripped out the game. I'll just say that.
Out of comedy.
Yeah, niggas because there's
Oh,
just
so
all
you
this like
Norm Nixon is saying fuck T.I.
no. I'm just saying in general, like I was saying from what he said, he was like, jumping into comedy at this and talking about a learning curve and even different stuff that you was talking about, like going to work on it this way or going to work on it that way. Like it's really hard to attain that ability to be like a actual Eddie Murphy ass, Cedric the Entertainer ass, Dave Chappelle ass nigga. Like there's only a few people in the black world, in the white world, a couple of Asians, a one or two come out of Europe. Maybe Trevor Noah makes it from Africa. Like, there's only a handful of cats, bro. So it's just like everybody wants to give all this like pat on the back kudos shit. Like I see it in the comments. Like I said, I don't be fucking with niggas.
Yeah.
I don't need no kudos. I don't gotta give no fucking kudos. Like if you're not my folks, I'm not gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
not
like
as positive as improv.
yeah, everyone's
though.
just like keep at it, man. You can write your way through it. Like no, you stink, nigga. You should give it up. You stink. You should probably quit. Like
there is a level of honesty that's no longer present.
well,
in
and
the
most
world.
people
Yeah.
don't have
I give you that.
self-awareness. When we
No.
know that most people do not have self-awareness. They don't know when their breath stink. They don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like
A lot of comics don't too. Like you'll
Right.
see comics with like cargo shorts on. You know what I mean? Like a lot of comics, I think, have like autism.
DoBoy got cargo.
You really?
just attacked you. That nigga just attacked. Yeah.
I'm more so talking about.
No. Stand on this shit. I'm one of the people you're talking about.
I'm more so talking about white comics that like kind of have this like they wear like you know what I mean? They buy their clothes from Sam's Club, but you know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
didn't know people bought
Then it's
clothes.
the
Yes, I look-
autistic
check
school
this out,
shooter
check
look.
this out. Then it's like
You
then
know
on
what I'm
the
talking
opposite
about?
side of that,
Like-
it's like black comics who think they're gonna be so fly they're gonna get on or some
Hold
shit.
on, real quick.
It's like
Yo, Lee,
Jay,
you about to say something?
Jay, one of the phones went out. The two
Oh, okay.
shot. The two shot.
Okay. Y'all keep talking.
all right.
But there's a lot of comics going back to what you're saying with like no self-awareness. There's a lot of comics who kind of just don't have that. But sometimes that makes some people funny because there's some comics that are just so off that it's almost funny.
But then there's an art to being that off
Being
and being
off,
funny
exactly.
consistently. Like there is that comic who's great at that.
which is
So
kind of
then the-
meta because you
And
have
that's
to,
the thing, is that you're a little off.
Right, but there's some okay, like let me think of some like who's someone who's like that. Like for example, there's probably more comedic actors we can think about who just have like a weird like slow cadence of like the way that they talk and or some shit and they be in
Yeah.
all the funny shit and they just always are like fuck, I feel like one of the
Here,
white
I'll
well,
jump,
Will
go ahead,
Ferrell
you got
kind
it.
of plays that
I'll
guy.
jump out of a window on this, and maybe I'll be the unpopular opinion on this.
go ahead.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not a huge fan of his, but I feel like he has that little slow.
He does. If you're
drawn
not
out-
into that
And
brand,
yeah,
of
I was
comedy,
just always like,
It's a brand.
and
He's
but there's
funny to
certain
me.
people that love
I
that
think he's
shit
funny.
though.
he's fucking hilarious.
But
I
you
love
know,
that.
Funny.
Hey,
But it's-
Lee, we straight?
It's like
Yeah, we
it's just
good. I
like
just got to
said, there's
set
like,
screen back up.
you know, it's niggas urban dozens comedy, and then there's like, the whiteness it gets whiter and whiter and whiter, and he's like at the extreme side of the white comedy
white,
spectrum.
yeah.
So it's so white that if you're not into that at all,
You're
just gonna
I never
be like,
got it. I was
no.
just like,
His stand-up is too slow for me. I tried to watch his stand-up. It's on
I never watched his
Netflix.
stand-up.
I
It's
like
on
his
Netflix.
stand-up.
But Between
I
Two
like his stand-up.
Ferns, sometimes it's funny as fuck.
That's
you
hilarious.
watch that
Oh, yeah,
shit,
dude.
the interviews. He's like, I hate it. No, that's the best thing he probably ever did.
what, Between Two Ferns?
Yeah,
You
you,
never
gotta
seen
watch
that?
that.
No.
You gotta
It's
watch
basically like his podcast interview special thing where he has all like the best celebrity guests. All they do is sit on the couch between two ferns, and he's just weirder than he normally is.
No, all I really know from is just the movies and shit. So.
it. I mean, it's
The
no,
movies is okay. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
Like some of the stuff where they're like, it's like, I mean, that was kind of funny.
People just be like, he's so fucking funny. I be like, is
I mean, he's no
No
Aaron
hate.
Spears sketch. You know?
I didn't know if you were gonna bring that up.
He got a list of daggers. He's like, let me
that in there.
let me fuck up this conversation.
Let me kick him while he's down
I mean, I
with
didn't
blades
see
on my
No,
shoes.
we was talking about. We don't got to
gas prices.
We don't got to go into it. But my homeboy did just hit me up about it. I haven't seen the sketch. Have y'all seen the sketch though?
I
It's
seen
the
the
sketch.
Dude, when
It's
I
the sketch.
saw it,
I seen the sketch.
Lance sent it to me, and I was like, okay, how bad can this be? And I watched it. I had to fast forward
Yeah,
it,
it was-
and I don't get offended at anything,
Bro,
I had to fast forward some of it.
any parent watching that shit, you'll be like, yo, what the fuck is? And listen, I
It's
don't have no
weird.
issues with Aries or a Tiffany, so I don't want to
Me
say
neither.
it like that. But
I think they're
I
both
felt
funny.
like it was a poor decision then, and this. We live in a world that once it's up on the internet, it's gonna live forever. So it didn't look good. I mean, as far as the law, like.
I'm
Sheesh.
surprised it was on the internet for that long,
But
and
you
like
know,
nobody
what else
really
too?
got weirded
what
out
year?
by it.
What year did that come out?
I think
2013. they said.
2013.
Yeah.
But Funny or Die said
Different-
they took it down.
It's a
But why?
It's a different world. They try to probably make something from the vein of like dead baby jokes and failed. That's basically what
You're right,
that
because
is.
people do make dead baby jokes.
That's how
I
They
used
do.
to be dying laughing at dead baby jokes.
I never liked
I
them.
used to think they were the funniest jokes in the world.
I don't know, man. I'm usually always there with comedians and be like, make your jokes about whatever. There should creative license. They shouldn't be restricted. But I feel like this one, it was a little off.
The reason why it crossed the line is because there's an action. It wouldn't
there's
have
a
been.
child in
It
it.
wouldn't have been if there was a kid. The reason why it was
The nigga was
creepy
putting
was because they were
baby oil
on a kid,
bro.
and so that's where it gets weird
Like,
because it's
He
a
jumped in
real
a bathtub
child.
with a kid.
It's a real child. So it's
Like-
like it would have been bad taste if it was somebody pretending to
He
be a
should
kid,
have.
but it was a
been
real
with a
family
kid.
member. It would have been better if it was his nephew. So at least it's
there's
kinfolk.
no way.
At least,
I
at
think-
least
what if
stick
it's
with
his
your
son?
family.
What if it was his son?
I just don't know how
Right
it
after
went from
baseball.
idea
I know Aries on this shit funny.
to script to production to shoot to edit to post, and nobody once was like, yo,
We just
what
talked
the
about
fuck is
we
this?
just talked about the people in
Nobody-
charge not knowing
I
what
don't
the fuck is going on. So they look up and they see. I don't know how poppin' Tiffany Haddish was at the time.
That was
or-
before.
What-
Girl,
that was before Girls
That
Trip.
was right
Yeah.
before shit.
But
really,
you know, funnier for whatever the budget was, that shit looked like a win to them on paper. So they ran with that shit.
and they threw their ass under the bus. They were like, "We don't know anything about this. We took the shit off our site.
We
ain't
don't know
doing
anything
this."
about
Lee.
this. It's like
Lee, you saying something?
My bad, dog.
Mute
Just
your-
speak
mute
up.
your-
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
No,
Yeah,
that's it.
he
Yeah.
ain't have it on mute.
I mean, I don't like. I'm not saying be like, oh, that should be canceled. I'm just saying it was
Look,
weird.
I
It
feel
don't look
like
good,
you
man.
know.
like you said, I on a creative license side of stuff, I feel like people you make whatever you want, but take whatever
Yeah, live
consequences
with
you
them.
get. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever
This
it
might-
is.
this
I don't
might-
care. Like I don't feel bad for people who get canceled. Most of the people who got canceled did stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
I don't have nobody who like really got like potentially canceled. First of all, who got really canceled? Not just like
I'm pretty
drugged through the
sure-
media in a week.
I'm pretty sure we can say Will Smith got canceled.
You think so? He'll
No.
be back.
Oh, here's the thing. It depends on what you mean by
Nigga.
cancel.
First of all, that's
Time
so
out.
fresh.
Time out. They put you in
That's
time
so
out.
fresh.
Nigga's not in timeout. They banned the nigga for 10 years from
From a
the
show. Who
from the
cares?
Oscars.
That ain't no
Canceled.
money.
He had like 3 or 4 movies in production. They clipped them all.
They'll be back.
That's a timeout.
Canceled
This
is
is-
more of when you lose work.
No,
in my
no,
opinion.
for me-
I
no,
agree
for me-
too. Roseanne got canceled. They fired
She got
her off her own
Look,
show.
look,
She got
no.
canceled.
They
To
took the
me,
name
and they
off
kept the
Roseanne.
show
They
going,
kept
to
the show
me,
going.
to me, like,
That's
which
canceled.
is
Get
crazy.
this bitch out of here. We
Like-
gonna keep today.
like Harvey Weinstein got canceled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Will Smith is having a hard time right now. It's a stint, but he also did some shit
But
he
see-
shouldn't have did.
But see, this is the thing.
Mhm.
This is where I think his
And I fuck
biggest.
with Will, but
This is
he
I
shouldn't have
got
did
taught
that.
this a long time ago in the game. Somebody told me this. They said 2 things matter in this business. One is ability, and the only thing more important than ability is likability.
Absolutely.
And that's what he had. He was the most likable individual ever. Everybody loved Will Smith. And then doing that on national TV, on that stage, I'll give you a
people
comparison.
still love him, though.
I'll give you a comparison.
They still love him.
Give you a comparison.
No, it's like a Disney kid. I get what you're saying.
But like,
he tainted himself.
Exactly. But it was like this, though. This is the perfect, and the situations weren't the same. But remember this. Are you guys football fans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray
Ray Rice.
Mhm.
Before the tape came out, the team knew about it. He knew he got into an altercation with his wife. But once that tape came out, it was over.
Look, we can't
never take that visual out of our minds.
It was bad.
But he had beat a woman.
Luckily,
He slapped the shit out of
People
her.
act like he was battered, though. They're like, it's Jada's fault.
This was gonna save him. One, aside from us sitting on the couch being like, damn, that was fucked up how that went down. There's no group of people that's gonna rally behind Chris Rock to tear Will Smith up. There's no women, there's no LGBT community. It ain't nobody to protest. Like, we not gonna go protest in Chris Rock's name when Will Smith do some shit. Now, like you said,
But if he does it again,
yeah, no, but like I don't know. Like you said, he definitely hurt himself, but he's gonna have to be a little bit more mysterious. The whole like family always on the inside and showing him a lot. I feel like he's gonna have to take a step back, cool out for a little bit, a little less posting, a little less whatever.
So you think he can get back into the movies?
Mel Gibson got movies out right now, boy.
Yeah.
that's true. That's
true.
Now
He was actually canceled.
Right.
Now that was actual cancellation.
Right.
They like, boy, you can't do nothing. Don't show up nowhere.
Get your
Mel,
ass out of here.
did you listen to them voicemails?
Hey, ignore your call time. Don't you show up
Mel-
nowhere.
Mel Gibson's voicemails was so hardcore, bro. I laughed so hard. I wasn't even mad. I was like,
It was
he
crazy.
is wild.
It was crazy.
He's back doing movies.
Dude.
Yeah, you got movies on Netflix.
Dude,
right
he's
now.
got a movie where he plays Santa Claus and like they try to like kill the elves. So he like kills, like it's like Santa Claus. He's like killing people, but it's
No
like supposed
way.
to be like, I watched it. It's
Wait,
supposed to
he's
be
killing
like,
elves?
no, he's not killing elves.
okay.
He's killing the people that are trying to kill the elves or something like that. It was a while ago, but
He got Mel looking bad. I saw a much more regular, reputable film than the one that he's talking
I'm like,
about.
That's the one that I saw.
Mel did a regular film with some
You're like,
regular
he's back,
folks.
and I'm
It
like-
was like Safe House. It was on Netflix or something. I don't know what the fuck this shit he talking about. He got Mel
Yeah.
sounding bad, like he down
But
bad.
I think
I
that
watched it with my dad. When
there
I
may
went
be
back to
some
the
credence to
Midwest.
what you're saying.
That's-
Because I ain't gonna lie. Back
Yeah.
when the Louis C.K. shit happened, I thought he's done. But now he's back touring. Nigga he just
But
wanna,
he's touring
Again,
on
let's
his
keep it
own
real.
dime.
Let's
He's
keep
not
it
in
real.
Hollywood.
Again, levels of offensive. Will slapped a black dude.
And don't nobody give a fuck
I hate
about
to
niggas.
break it to you, but there ain't that many people that's gonna rally behind that. And
But how does that make y'all feel as a black man? There ain't nobody there to ever just be like, we matter too.
You know what though?
Like, if I feel like
So,
if he would have
look,
slapped
keep
the
it
white
real.
dude,
If he
Keep
would
it
have,
real.
if
No,
he would have
keep it real.
slapped
If he
Hillary
would've slapped
Duff,
the white
if
dude,
he would have slapped Hillary
Nah,
Duff,
he'll be-
he would have duffed out Hillary.
Look, if he would have slapped anyone with a vagina,
Angelina Jolie, if he would have slapped her,
it would have been a problem, dog.
some people would have
But-
respected that
Yeah,
one.
but
But
you know what?
I
People still love Will because like they basically like blamed it on Jada. Like right after. Like there was so much stuff on social media to where it's like, oh, he's in a bad relationship.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
I don't know.
But see, you know what? But see, that's what I think it goes back to when I say, well, when we were all saying earlier that the internet, when we show too much of ourselves, I feel like Will Smith getting on YouTube was the worst thing for him. Because then we no longer seen him as this movie star.
You know
He's
why
just
he
a
did
regular
it?
nigga.
You know why he did it, right? He said it in his book. I always told people this is why he did it.
Why did he
and
do
then
it?
when I listened to his book, he said this is why he did it.
Why?
Trying to keep up with The Rock.
What?
You got to understand, Will went away for what?
That can't be a real quote. He said that.
He said, yeah. He said The Rock. He says it so smooth.
Wow.
He says it so smoothly in the book. But bruh, that's the reason, bruh. You got to understand. Will Smith went away for 4 years.
Right.
He was the biggest movie star. He went away for 4 years. When he came back with Men in Black 3, nobody wanted to see Men in Black 3.
Nope.
Okay, the movie did cool, but it wasn't the whole Will fandom that he was accustomed to. He looking at The Rock
Yep.
and Kevin Hart
Wow, that makes so much sense.
taking his superstardom spot.
Getting to 20 million for the movies.
Getting the 20 million. He's the light-skinned dude. He's likable, The Rock. He's light-skinned. He's bigger. The Rock is Will Smith and Arnold Schwarzenegger mixed combined.
wow, yeah, he
Jesus,
is.
that makes
He is.
so much fucking sense.
Yeah.
And then he went to YouTube
So
and
he-
was talking too much.
Exact. So he went on YouTube because he see, oh, The Rock is on social media. Got all these numbers. Oh, well, I'm going to show you I'm Will Smith. I could do Instagram, which he proved. I could do Instagram better than all of y'all. That's cool. Overshared.
And then that was the problem. Then everybody started getting in their bit. And like at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck what was going on in their marriage. I just hate that we had to know about it. That's embarrassing as a man, and to hear your wife is, fucking
Yeah, being
kid's
emasculated
friend.
in
Like,
front of everybody.
Yeah.
and so now you can't even look at him the same. Because he's like, nigga, you just let this go on in your house.
Yeah.
I know these niggas.
And it's the
no
other thing
comment.
too, what people associate you with.
You said what
You
people
know.
associate you with?
I know these niggas. No comment.
No, Norm, stand on it.
No,
I feel
I
you.
just
I
don't
feel
have
you.
nothing to say. I mean, for better, for one, it ain't my business. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Nah, I feel you. You don't got to speak on it. I
I
get
mean,
it.
I'm not
You don't wanna
trashing.
mess up the relationship.
I hope I'm not coming off
Not
like I'm
even.
trashing.
I still
these
love
niggas.
Will
No,
Smith.
not even that you are.
For sure.
But if
That's
niggas,
your man's though.
yeah, it's but like I fuck with the Rock family too. So it's like even in regards to that whole situation, I could still stand up and be real about it. You know, like Tony Rock's the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Tony Rock.
yeah, Tony. He the one who always be in the stand up clubs and shit.
Oh, okay. I was like, what
From
Tony
The
Rock?
Rock. The Rock. Tony Rock.
Yeah, we'll talk about The Rock.
The
and
Rock.
Tony Rock. I love Tony Rock, but I was like, that's
Tony Rock is a mix between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Will Smith.
Tony Rock was the one, during my era of being around doing stand up, who was daring to, you see Tony.
Tony's a beast. He's
And
one of my favorites.
I
He's
think
funny.
that's what it does too. I think when celebrities start to like overshare about their life, I think that people come to the celebrities
Look,
or come to different people
Unless that's
to
what
get
they
away from
associate
their
you with.
shit.
I will say
You know
this.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
people just bored. It just gives you reality TV on some niggas you want some dirt on. But I will say this. I feel like he did it, or they put themselves out there, because that's what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he participated as much just to be a team player, to help his family get the bag. Red Table Talk don't work if he don't make them couple of guest appearances, initially or whatever, and help co-sign that. And Jada got a lot more shit going on.
Jada's somewhere
now.
right now saying, my show would have been successful whether Will was or wasn't on the show. Norm.
But even beyond just the Red Table, but just the Instagram.
And if I had a blue table, nigga. How dare you? That's what she's saying right now.
Jada, my folks too. I know Will because of Jada.
Shout out to that.
Right.
Man, we actually about to get out of here, man. So, go for it.
I would say the conversation is so public. I'm used to just sitting there and listening to it.
Right.
It ain't like niggas just like they some bitch ass thing. I'll be like, hey, now everybody relax.
Whoa.
I'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
you can say what you gotta say, but we gonna keep the respect intact in here, guys. At least let me step out the room. This thing don't have nothing to do with me.
So you done been to the house, huh? Will Smith house?
Yeah, well, my mom did Different World and shit, so Jada was on that. So I've known Jada like my whole life.
Oh, that's fact. I didn't want to bring it up if you didn't want to bring it up, but I just found out recently. I didn't even know this until I seen him in Tampa. His mom is Debbie Allen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. Who's a
Wow.
very famous, well-renowned actress, director.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many awards she has, probably, right? Yeah, but I mean, so I just found that out, and I was like, God damn. But I respect that because you don't just go around, not in casual conversation.
Right.
He said it on stage, but it makes sense because he's telling the story.
Right.
But yeah, man. I did have a thought. I wanted to know, like, how was that growing up in that environment?
I always tell I don't have nothing else to compare it to, bro. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What am I gonna compare it to? I only have my fucking body.
Right.
Life. I don't know what anything else is like with my life. So shit.
Well, let me tell you how it is being a broke nigga. I can let you know.
I can tell you, I don't have AC, so I can and my bed folds into the wall. Speaking of
I can tell you
oversharing,
about some things.
I got a Murphy bed, and I tried to make a video about my bed folding to the wall, and someone just goes, "Dude, this video isn't funny. It just made me sad."
and then on the what it's like conversation, it's like weird because it's like whatever's a highlight to you ain't a highlight to me. And whatever that goes different.
So what was the
different
highlight for you then? What's something that you've experienced that you was like, damn, this is tight?
I mean, obviously you be in some super tight shit. All the shit that's super tight to y'all is super tight to me. You know what I'm saying? Like cracking ass Super Bowl shit.
Okay.
Fucking championships and all-star weekends when it's real good and the access is cracking, or such and such's birthday when it's full out, or going to some Diddy shit when it's full out and it's all love and you don't gotta sit outside and be all fucking goofy and do all the shit, but fucking but like so like that. But everything else, my parents are pretty regular, bro. Like they're older.
Right.
My mom was born in 1950. My dad was born in 55. They not with this new weirdo shit.
My parents too, around the same age.
Like we had a
My
couple
parents
of
57, 59.
Yeah, my parents are 65.
Your parents in their 50s?
Yeah, but they had me young.
Yeah, clearly.
They got it in.
Were they 10?
They were 18 and 21 when they
Oh,
had it.
18, 21.
Uh-huh.
On some DC Urban life.
Yeah.
No, DC
Yeah.
had his kids at 16.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Shout
crazy
out
too.
DC
He's
Urban.
like, my daughter just graduated college. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I remember
crazy.
that.
My daughter's about to be a senior. You've met my daughter. My daughter's about to be a senior.
Well,
No, she is a senior in high school. I'm not. She
He
just
don't know
started
who his
school.
daughter is.
She just starts. I have her full
he
time.
said, "Man, can we
She
hey,
just started.
cut that out the tape, man? This nigga's gonna
She
get in
just
trouble,
started.
dog.
No, but
This
I always said it to the homies because they remember when they met Kiara. My daughter was like 5.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Now she's literally a senior in high school.
That's crazy.
About to go to college, man. That shit goes
Jeez.
so quick, bro.
Hey man, I would just like to say, because I know we getting towards the end in my sexy voice, man. I'm gonna get close to the mic. I'm just proud to be a part of a podcast episode where we didn't give no relationship advice, and
Yeah.
we didn't have to get mad at women and tell them what they're supposed
Yeah,
to be
Andrew
doing.
Tate.
And
Yeah, man. Fuck these
Man,
bitches.
That's why I shaved my head. I'm trying to take a spot.
Yeah,
I'm
so
trying to
by
take-
the way, these bitches,
Yo,
what y'all gotta do? We still got
Yeah.
5 minutes, nigga. Let's go off. Instagram can only be a clip. If you ain't talked about a bitch yet, let's get on these bitches. If you
Dude, that
ain't,
is our podcast now. Relationship advice and political commentators.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah, I know. But you
That's
know,
what it is.
I think because I be watching the ones I listen to the most. It's just like when people just be talking. I be wanting people to feel like they in the living room. Like if we were just in the living room talking,
cool.
like what?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Like chilling. Like what would we be talking about?
exactly.
And
Just
not
a vibe.
just
Not
a vibe.
always just talking about the current events and shit. Like,
Right.
I like to
Yeah.
where I can just learn something and just hear just a regular, like you said, just a cool
Yeah,
conversation.
don't
Yeah,
don't
man.
be trying to sound all extra intellectual about shit you don't fucking know
Yeah,
about.
stop
How
trying to
about
go viral.
Yeah, and on that note, fuck these bitches. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't swallowing, I ain't hollowing.
that? See, the key to a
Halloween.
successful the key to a
Alright.
successful
I
relationship,
think
they end it right there, nigga. The key to afterlife, heaven, and a successful relationship in the podcast right there.
Do you got y'all don't got kids, right?
No,
y'all
no, I'm in a relationship, but you know.
How you don't got no kids? You or James don't got no kids. What are y'all doing correct?
Learn to pull out, man.
Yeah, dude. I think I don't know. Like people always act surprised when they have a kid. They're like, I don't know how this can happen. It's like, dude,
It's like you nutted in that pussy. That's what you did.
That
You
makes sense.
skeeted in it.
How many you got? You just got one?
Just one
I don't know if do you want more? How old is it? You have a daughter?
daughter.
How old is she?
Mhm.
She's 9 now.
I
know.
dude.
I don't know if I
crazy.
want anymore. My daughter's about to go to college. I'm like, I think I might just get out the game.
Yeah,
Dude, I've
yours
known
in
you for
college.
Yeah.
since 2010. I
Yeah.
think. That's just crazy. It's like it's just one. LA really is weird because there's no season, so it really is just one thing. I'm like, it just seems like yesterday. That's
My daughter was
crazy.
actually in the Aries Spirits.
You're a terrible person.
It's like this podcast is too respectable. Let's fucking throw
Let's
some
put
dirt
some
on
dirt
it.
I know, right?
it.
I was like,
Yeah.
how can I get into the fuck you feelings
Yeah.
title?
There it is. Right. My bad. Look, we on the wrong vibe and shit. We all serious. Like, so the business acumen of starting yourself is the focusing on
You write a sequel to the
prioritize your
sketch.
skill set and totem pole.
Hey, that's what I want to know. Are you happy you came though, Norm?
Yeah, man. I wouldn't have came, nigga.
No, but I'm saying after doing it, are you like, okay, this is all right?
Yeah, man. I knew what I was getting myself into,
Good
bro.
time.
You know,
Good time.
look,
Good.
the recluse in me is out all the time, nigga. So I will be like, I'm cool.
And,
Right.
fun fact, I have been seeing, because we follow each other on social media.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I see everybody being on the podcast. I'm like, when am I gonna get my call? Nigga?
Right.
I know you too, nigga.
Right.
Niggas start to be
Call my phone. Nigga.
Yeah, no, I got you, bro. Man.
But so no, this was hella fun, man. You got a good thing
Yeah.
going, man. And just to let you know, bro, I'm super proud of everything that you've done over the years, man.
Thank
We
you,
kind
bro.
of you came in the game around the same time, so just super proud watching you from afar, man. Keep doing your shit.
Man, appreciate that.
Yeah,
So
bro.
what's saying to you, man?
I
Saying
gotta
no.
practice what I preach, and I ain't known you long enough to have pride, but I'm happy for you. Cause I hate when niggas I don't know have pride.
I appreciate
Like
you.
we gotta have history for you to have pride in me. You gotta have seen me take some steps. Nigga, I just met, man, I'm proud of you. What?
Right.
Keep that shit. Keep that weak ass pride.
Nah,
Know you, nigga.
I appreciate it. Man,
All
what,
love.
what compliment do you have for me?
How much do you love me, Matthew?
Dude, but we've had some amazing times at parties together.
I'm joking, man. What y'all say y'all socials and what y'all got coming out, what people should be looking out for?
Matt Jones Comedy, and I got my one-man show coming out. So Matt Jones Comedy on all platforms.
I am DoBoy TV, DOBOY TV on all platforms. Check me out every Wednesday on Caffeine, Raising the Bar, 6 p.m. PST.
Norm Nixon. I'm at Thump Nixon, THUMP on Instagram, all platforms. House of Vicious TV show on BET every Wednesday. Tammy Roman, A7 Central. The Miss Pat Show also on BET. I'm taking Lil Bow Wow spot. Gonna be Mr. 106 Park.
Hey,
Hey,
I
shout out
just
to
do
that.
all the BET shit. I want all the black smoke. I'm
There
with
it
all
goes.
the shit. I don't give a fuck. Touring around, you know what it is. Gonna be doing Orlando with this guy. I think the 17th, 18th.
Go be there.
So, yeah.
Hey man, it's
There
your
it
man
is.
Justin Hires, man. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina this weekend. I'm gonna drop. I'll be gone. But then I'll be in Orlando. So yeah, man, check out the show in Orlando if y'all around the area. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you've been offended by anything that we said today, just remember one thing.
Fuck.
Fuck your feelings.
Fuck 'em.
I